Hey guys, it's Jasmine. Thank you for clicking on my video, and today I'm making steak tacos. So if you're interested, just keep watching. So first I'm starting off with 1.5 pounds of skirt cut steak that I let sit out for about an hour or two to get to room temperature. And I'm just going to dust it over with some kosher salt on both sides, and make sure you don't use too much because you don't want it to be salty, but you also want to make sure you use enough. So just do what I'm doing. Alright, now I'm going to cut up my steak into small size cubes. I like to cut mine up pretty small so it can cook evenly and be very tender. And as you can see here, this is about the size I cut them into here. Now I'm going to get started with our marinade. And first we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Is that how you say it? Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground oregano, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then you just want to go ahead and whisk that up together really well. Now we're just going to add all of our steak pieces into the marinade. And we're going to mix that up very well. We want to make sure we have an even coating of marinade on each piece of steak. Now we're going to take a large size Ziploc bag, and we're going to put our meat inside of the bag, and we're going to let it marinate for at least an hour, or you can do it overnight, or whatever suits your fancy. Now after about 45 minutes, I'm going to get started on my tortillas, and I have a skillet that's preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and a bowl of cold water. And I'm going to use yellow corn tortillas because that's what I prefer, but you can use whatever you want. And what I'm going to do here is dip my tortilla into the cold water, and then I'm going to put it into my skillet. We do this because corn tortillas are usually very dry, and we want to add some moisture into them. And after 30 seconds, we flip them over and we cook them for another 30 seconds. Now what we want to do is make sure these tortillas stay warm until we're ready to make our tacos. So we put them into a Ziploc bag, and you just put one on top of the other, and it's going to keep them warm. It's going to keep all the steam inside and keep them warm. So right here you see all of my tortillas are ready, and they're going to stay warm. Alright, so now I'm adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil to that same skillet that we cooked our tortillas in. And the skillet is on the same temperature, 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to add my steak into the skillet, and I'm going to cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes, stirring it the whole time. Just flipping it and tossing it over. And I'll come back when I'm all done with that. Alright, so after about 4 to 5 minutes of cooking, I'm going to take an oven safe dish, or a broiler safe dish, because I'm going to add all of my meat. I'm going to move all of my meat from my skillet to my baking dish, and I'm going to make sure you pour all of the juices into the baking dish as well, so your meat stays juicy. And I'm going to put this into my broiler. I already have my broiler preheated to 525 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put that into my broiler for about 4 to 5 minutes so that my steak get a nice coloring on it as if we grilled this steak. Alright, now I'm back with my steak out the broiler. It has a really nice color. And now I'm just taking me a plate with some limes, and I'm going to take my tortillas, which you can see is still steaming hot. I like to use 2 corn tortillas per taco because corn tortillas can be very fragile, and you just want to give it that extra barrier of coating to make sure that your taco doesn't fall apart. And as you can see, I'm just stuffing my corn tortilla shells with the steak, and I'll be back when I'm all done with that. Alright, now I have all of my tortilla shells stuffed. Now I'm going to add in some yellow onion that's been diced, pre-diced. And I also have some fresh cilantro leaves that I chopped up myself. I like to chop them up because I just feel like when you chop them up, it releases all the flavors and aromas. And feel free to add whatever you like onto your tacos. It's completely up to you. And we are all done. As you can see, you guys, these tacos look amazing. They were so good. The steak was so moist, juicy. It was tender. And yeah, so if you like this recipe, feel free to go ahead and like and leave a comment. I like when you guys comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you so much.